What's up, cryptopreneurs? For those new people, welcome to my channel, Bitcoin Street. If you wouldn't mind subscribing and liking and doing all that jazz. Now, this might be terrifying to new folks in the space and even to some folks who have been around for a while. The thing about this, though, is this is just the market cycle playing out. Here it is. I've been showing this since way back here, right? I want to doubt it. I've wanted to doubt it, but I've always just kind of said this is happening. I made a video recently saying we're right here, and I talked about, I mean, it just sounds kind of stupid, but like the quantum realm where everything's right and everything's incorrect. And it's just, there's something more going on here, right? This has kind of been predicting not the price of Bitcoin, but kind of the news stories. This is a 4-year-old chart, at least. For those new folks, this is what Bitcoin has done since the summer of 2020. This is basically it, but this was from 2017. This isn't the Bitcoin chart, but it's following it, give or take. We're right in here. Now, I don't know if we're dealing with this guy or if we're actually dealing with this guy, but it doesn't really matter in the big picture. So, interesting. I got a cat on my lap. Get off me. Get off. I know I love you too. Okay, so interesting. I just want to touch on that. I just saw a story come out about Kraken and Coinbase. The SEC is cracking down on them for staking. They want to stop retail investors from staking crypto at a high yield on Kraken. They just fined them like 30 million and Coinbase, and that's what this is, right? That's what I've learned, which is kind of I don't know how else to put it, but it's kind of quantum. You know, if you have a basic understanding of quantum mechanic theory, it doesn't really make sense. No one understands it, so I'm not like saying it, but it's something more is going on. This is, you know, Elon Musk did this and that and this and that, but this is a chart from like 2017, some other crypto. So, right, this is the point I'm getting to is this has been kind of predicting the news stories in advance, right? That's how the only way this is taking shape, and you know I don't know if it's like I say this one or this one, but it's a dump. And let's go to the chart here. This is the daily chart, Bitcoin, and we haven't had a big red death wick for a while. I don't know if this one's going to do it or not. It could, or it could be the next one. But like that story about, you know, the SEC wants to stop. It's kind of FUD. I mean, it's real stuff, but it's basically just FUD. That's what happens. Right, that's what happens at this point in the cycle. Is those stories come in, they have a big effect, right? And don't be surprised if there isn't more. Right, don't be surprised. Like if this one is here, don't be surprised if there's another one that takes us down to 12,000 over the course of like a week or two. I was expecting this to hang out up in the channel for a while longer, but when it came down here, it was pretty clear. I moved into a short position. I was hedging and stuff. I've just went all pure short, all one dry powder I have. I've got a couple accounts here. I like showing it because if you're going to be making videos on YouTube about this subject, I think everyone should probably show their trades from time to time, just to, you know, show that they actually aren't just making videos, right? What I'm looking for now is we've definitely set a new low in this local range, and we're looking at the top of the next range. The yellow line's at 21,600. That's the next one I'm looking for to see if there's going to be a bounce. I would think about selling my short or exiting my short, and but I'll probably just stay in it for the time being and see where this is going, just in case it's a huge, massive drop to this white line down here, 20,370, or maybe lower. They could go down to that 19,700 area of the previous all-time high in 2017. Right now, where it's at locally, there's really not any. See, in between this white and the yellow here, there's really not anything to stop it to just come right down here to 21,600. Locally, there's no support or resistance or anything because this big green guy just shot up. So if it were to do that, it would be there. And I've kind of been wondering if it's going to come down here for a while and come back down into this range and bounce here maybe for a little while, and then maybe try to push back up and fail, right? So I don't know. You know, that right there, just I drew that. Why'd I draw that like that? Because that's what this looks like, right? See what I'm saying? See that? So that could be I don't know. It's not a carbon copy, of course, but it's that same type of action, right? It's just been scary. It's a spooky. It's a spooky correlation from a distance, right? 5 years, 2017. Shoot, that's 7 years ago, right? Well, I guess that would be that, but 4 years, give or take, ago, right? And how is that possible? It's not because it's these stories, right? That's kind of what's making the price of Bitcoin do this right now, and there's probably going to be more stories. But so is it? Is is someone is the composite man looking at this chart and making up these stories at the right time, or is this somehow predicting those stories, right? What isn't that just odd? It's kind of like Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger used a bad animal. Anyone who owns a cat knows that if you have a cat in a box, you know if it's alive or dead. So he should have used like a mouse or a hamster. But anyways, the cat is both dead and alive, and you don't. It's not either or. It's both until you open the box and look, and then that's when it's either dead or alive. Another thing here is another option is Wyckoff distribution pattern. This is looking kind of like it. See how it's got this little consolidation here. It pumps up, right, and then this would be right if it consolidates here. Now this would call for a huge dump, which could probably be back down to 15,000, and then maybe on the way to 12 eventually. So who knows? That's speculation, but watch out for that. That would form if it came down here and bounced off this white line. Let me turn my magnet off so I can draw normal looking lines. If it came down here in this area and ranged for a little while, right? Let's get rid of that guy. If it came here and ranged for a while, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Also, you could call it a Wyckoff redistribution, Wyckoff distribution. And I was saying a long time ago, this is not an accumulation that goes up. It's a redistribution that goes down. So I'm going to try to avoid saying exactly, this is that, but just taking a look at where we're at and these news stories coming out, right? It's funny. It's real stuff, but it's funny. I want to get back to the point that the story about Coinbase and Kraken and the SEC finding them money for staking, and they want the retail investors to stop staking. So Ethereum is based on staking, right? That's how the whole thing operates. So they're not going to stop people from doing that, right? So it's just a story, and it might go for a year, right? That's the kind of stuff that people couldn't believe Bitcoin could go down to 12 and stay there. And when I said we're not to the bare winter yet, people didn't believe me because, some people probably did, but because, they were saying this was the bottom. But that's the kind of stuff that happens in a bare winter, right? And that's why it's happening now, right? So when this pumps back up here to the right, and then we end up here on the left, and it goes hope, optimism, belief, euphoria. This is where you'll hear the stories about governments and countries, nations around the world. They'll be like using volcanoes for clean energy to mine Bitcoin, right? And they'll be talking about it might become the world's reserve currency, right? And that's just how this works, right? So down here, expect more FUD, expect more junk and garbage and stories. That's just how it works. What's causing which one and what's causing what? It's hard to say. They're both causing each other, right? One, they're both right. They're both wrong. They're causing each other, right? It's I don't know. I think you get the point I'm trying to say. It's hard to explain because it's kind of a strange situation. But anyways, if you see it consolidate here in this range for a week or so, then the measured move from that would be like let's see, 23. It would give or take. I'm not perfect here. 23, like 28, about 3,500, 3,200 from here. So say seventh. That'd be around 17,000, and that would, interesting enough, would be, let's draw a line there in that ballpark. Interesting enough, that would be right about in that ballpark. So see how that would work. Let's change the color of that guy. Let's make this guy red. Okay, interesting enough, see how that the previous low ranged. That's the top. The measured move, if that turned into Wyckoff head and shoulders, a Wyckoff distribution, redistribution, the measured move would be approximately right there. Right there. See that's working where that red line's at? Right across the top resistance of the old range from the last low. Everyone was saying it was the low. And it still could be. It's, maybe it does just stay here in this range. It doesn't go lower than 15,400. But I'm thinking it's probably going to touch lower than that. And this video is getting too long. But that's interesting how that's set up. I didn't look at that until just now on video. And let's get rid of this guy. He's kind of getting annoying right there. And then here comes a FUD story. Oh, 12,000, right? So something like that. It's speculation, but it's something to look for. It's good to have a plan and something, an idea. And tomorrow, this could change. A big death wick right now could change the whole story. So, all right, man. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Listen to me stutter some more.